The next speech is coming from a music graduate of John Hopkins University. She has conducted numerous orchestras and actually a member of church choir all over the United States. That's great. Now, she has actually trained students on piano and has got up to 7 prizes. Students she has taught has won prizes in several states, particularly Colorado Springs. She is currently a chanter in the 40 Holy Martyrs Orthodox Church. I think that's close to Catholic. That's Orthodox Church. Then Catholics is on the other side. Oh, I'm a Catholic, so we're pretty very close. So please help me to welcome her speech. Title of her speech is, "Can You Hear Me Now?" Because she's trying to draw our attention to an area where we really need to develop. All of us need to develop. So I'm going to have to listen attentively to her to see how I can grow a little bit more tonight. Please help me to welcome Susan Ali.
Do you remember this advertisement that a long time ago? This Verizon Wireless guy said, "Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?" I bet next time when you are going to have a presentation, you're hoping that your audience would say, that you wouldn't have to say to your audience, "Can you hear me now?" What if you have something very important to say when you are having a company meeting or company presentation, but nobody can really hear you? Your phone is only on 1 bar. Maybe you have a very soft-spoken nature. Or what if you came up with a brilliant idea to how to get your company to increase the revenue in executive board meeting? However, nobody can understand what you're talking about because you have a very heavy foreign accent. Has that ever happened to you before? Whether you like it or not, people will judge you by how well you come across when you speak. True story. Years ago, my husband was working for IBM with one of our friends who was a former Marine officer. Now, he was rather tall, broad-shouldered, and somewhat meticulous. But what really stood out was his Marine officer voice. Incredible projection, pronunciation as clear as a bell, and comes across totally assertive. During every company meeting, we noticed that everybody is drawn towards, gravitate towards his speech, and also towards and hang on every word that he was saying. What's interesting is that when you really listen to his content, it was good, but not technically advanced. For the longest time, we were scratching our heads wondering, how did he make himself so convincing? Aha! We actually figured it out one time. It was his outstanding pronunciation and projection, because he has the ability to project his voice and also to enunciate very well. You might ask, does it really make that much of a difference? The answer is, oh yes it does. It makes a big difference. Which kept me to thinking, if you can have such an impact to the audience, if he can have such an impact to the audience, you and I, who are rich in content, how much more can we do such a good job in communicating to our audience? Because all we need is to have a proper training. Well, you're in a treat. You're in for a treat. As your Sergeant of Arms this year, I have prepared to share with you a series of presentations to help you have a better projection and a clearer enunciation. The first of my series is going to be focusing on vocal projection. I will show you some of the exercises to warm up your vocal cord before you do your presentation. Just as an athlete who is going to warm up her muscle before she would do strenuous exercises, we as public speakers, we also need to warm up our vocal cord in order not to injure it or in order to have a proper, to project our voice properly. Let's take a look at our vocal cord. There are actually more nerves in the muscles of the larynx than any other muscle in your body, with the exception of your eyes. Look at how many different muscles there are to govern and to control how your voice comes out. Professional singers and professional speakers, they all do an hour, at least an hour of warming up and practicing, warming up their vocal cords before they go to perform or to speak. Today I'm going to show you some of the warm-up exercises you can do, but I would like to ask you to all stand up. Don't be shy, because you're going to do some exercises that you will probably regret. The first exercise, simple dimple, is yawning. What I want you to do is, I'm going to, in a count of 3, everybody go. Okay, wait. Count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, inhale. How does that feel with your larynx? It opens it up, right? It opens it up, and also it relaxes you. You probably want to do that about 5 to 10 times before you step on stage. I'm going to ask you to do this again, one more time. This time I'm going to ask you to add a tone to it, like this. From the highest note you can go to the bottom, the lowest one you can go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, inhale. Very good. All right. In this exercise, the reason why I have you do it that way is so that your muscle can contract and expand. It warms up the muscle inside. And also, it will make your sound not nasal. It will open this up. Next exercise. Another simple dimple one, humming. Now listen to how I hum. Very simple. Okay, on the count of 3, everybody goes. Very good. Humming is to place the sound right in front of your face, like buzzing. So it helps you to have what we call mask resonance sound. These are some of the exercises, of warm-up exercises that you can do for your vocal cord. And we will do more of these exercises in our next session. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Susan.